Welcome in to Cross My Heart Ministry and welcome to Martha Monday. If you're a regular subscriber, you know that on Mondays, sometimes I get in the kitchen and offer a recipe. Sometimes I'm around the house with an organizational tip. And every once in a while, I'll do what I call a Dollar Tree haul. And so today is one of those. I hit Dollar Tree this week. Sometimes when I do a Dollar Tree haul, it's all about something seasonal. And today it's not seasonal. This is an everyday Dollar Tree dollar haul. I'm just sharing a few items that are of just general use and general purpose. And I'm just going to run down through. There's some grocery items, some travel items, some crafting and other types of things. So let me just share with you what I picked up this week and how I plan to use some of these things. So first up, I have some everything bagels. Now, my family loves bagels. I don't buy them often because they're so yummy and they're so carby, and I just don't want to be tempted by them. But when all the kids are home, sometimes I'll make a breakfast sandwich with this little sauce that I've created and put some avocado and bacon on there, and it's just yummy. Of course, an everything bagel is great with just cream cheese. So I was intrigued to realize that at the Dollar Tree that I visited, in the grocery section, they had everything bagels. Now, I wondered about the price because, as you know, Dollar Tree inflation sit there like every place else, but $1.25 for 4 of these compared to the price for 6 at the regular grocery store. So I got online and checked the price at a local grocery store and found a couple of different prices. But the bottom line is that the price for a bagel at the grocery stores where I checked were 62 or 69 cents each. And at $1.25 for 4 of these babies are 31 cents each. So that is less than half, or right and half, the price of what you would pay for an everything bagel at the grocery store. So it's a good buy. And I'll tell you, my friend that's here today helping me record, Sandy, and I decided, I just need to taste test this before we record today. So I opened up the package, put a half a bagel in there, toasted it, put some whipped cream cheese on there, and voila. We split half of the half, and we both give it a 2 thumbs up. So the everything bagel is really yummy. I think they also had the cinnamon raisin and a plain flavor, so didn't test those. But we think the everything bagel is worth a try, and the price at half as much definitely could go for that. The next thing I picked up is a package, 10 of these little snacks, these little, they call them Bear Graham cookies. These are sort of their knockoff for the Teddy Grahams. I bought these, and you may have seen it on my video last year at Christmas time when I wanted to put snacks on my porch for the delivery guys during the Christmas season. And so these were some of the things that I bought. So they come individually packaged, which is amazing. But 10 of these for $1.25, it's an extraordinary price. And so these are just great to have on hand for grandchildren, or to put in a little basket to take to a little meeting, or who doesn't love Teddy Grahams? It reminds me of when our oldest son Kyle was a little guy, and I bought him Teddy Grahams. He used to call them Billy Teddy Grahams, I guess because he heard Billy Graham somewhere was on his radar. And so as a 3-year-old, can I have some Billy Teddy Grahams? Just makes me chuckle. So I never looked at Teddy Grahams without calling them Billy Teddy Grahams, and now you will too. Okay, so the next couple of things are for traveling. And I find myself on a plane more often than I ever have been in my entire life these days. And so I like to keep a package of these. And I like to say that I was a Clorox wiper even before COVID. You know how Barbara Mandrell says, I was country when country wasn't cool? Well, I was wiping down my tray in front of me even before COVID, because if you've ever seen a woman change a baby's diaper on top of that tray, then you just think, ooh, I think I will wipe down my tray. So I get one of these out of my purse. I wipe the armrest. I wipe the metal on the belt buckle. I wipe the top of the tray and the sides and all that. And I certainly did it during COVID, but I just continue to do that. I'm not a real germaphobe, but I just like to be careful when I can. And this is a great price. It's this perfect size to fit into my purse, so love those Clorox wipes. The other thing that's nice to have when you travel are some of these stain remover wipes. And so this is sort of their knockoff, but the thing that makes it nice, besides being affordable, there are 12 in here, and they are individually wrapped. So what a great idea. I usually keep 1 or 2 of these in my makeup bag that stays in my suitcase, and so there's nothing worse than being out of town or or being someplace and spilling something on a blouse you love and not being able to get it treated. So there's a great price point for that. My husband likes to keep a little bit of dishwasher detergent in the garage when he's cleaning up something, wants to run some water for whatever. And so he asked me the next time I was at Dollar Tree, which was kind of what prompted this trip to Dollar Tree, to pick up a small bottle of inexpensive dishwashing detergent. And so normally I buy a big Hawkins size of it at Sam's that I use in the house, and I've been partial to Dawn. I was surprised that they actually had Ajax, which is more of a name brand than an off-brand, and it says that this is a lavender scent and it has Fabuloso in it, so it's probably one that would be great enough and good enough quality to use inside the house, but it's going to go in the garage for hubby to honor his request, and so that'll go there. Also, because I do travel a lot, I've sort of duplicated my cosmetics, and I just find it easier when I pack to know that I have everything in there that I need for makeup and toothbrush and hairspray and all that. And so when I travel, if I come up with something that I need, I'll make myself a little note or send myself an email. And so I did that. And one of the things on my list was a headband, because I like to use a headband at home to put my hair back away from my face at night when I'm washing my face and taking off my makeup. And I needed one in my cosmetic bag. I thought I had one in there. I don't know what happened to it, but anyway, there's my little stretchy headband. And because I'm doing it with makeup, I like to have one that's washable, that throws in the wash. And also that takes up less space. You don't want one of those sort of stiff ones that's going to get broken. So I picked up that for myself. And then this was something that I saw in the school supplies aisle. Are you that nerdy woman like me that was the nerdy kid that loved for school to start? And if you're like me, you walk into Walmart or the Dollar Tree and they've got all the school supplies out and I get so excited. I walk up and down those aisles just wishing I needed something and wanting to buy something, and I really don't need anything. But this time I found something that I could use. So for Bible study, we have pre-printed name tags for our ladies, but we also always have name tags on hand for visitors and guests and that kind of thing. And so I'm always keeping some supplies in a bag, including some Sharpies. And so when I keep Sharpies in here, the box kind of ends up getting destroyed and the Sharpies drop out. And I tried using a pencil case, but it's just bigger and bulkier than I really wanted to have in my bag. And Dollar Tree had this lovely little almost suitcase type design with a handle. This is Jot, which is sort of their school supplies or office supplies line. And they just call this a marker storage container. So this could be for colored markers. If your children or grandchildren have those and the box is disintegrating, you could probably put crayons in here as well. But I'm choosing to use it for my Sharpies. And so there's these two little tabs that lock in place. And so you just pop those open and it opens up. And I have my Sharpies in here. I'm going to have to probably get a few more. But I just love that. I love that it's so thin. It won't take up a lot of space in my bag. So that was something that I'd not seen before there that is very, very useful. The next thing are index cards. And I like these. I just got the plain white ones. And I like the larger size for the purpose I'm using these for. They're a 4x6 size. And so at Bible study, I usually will put a verse that I want the ladies to try to commit to memory during the year. And actually every week I'll put a write the word verse up. But I'm going to choose a verse that I really want to challenge them to memorize. And sometimes I'll have that pre-printed on a card and hand it out. And the light bulb went on this summer, and I thought, why am I giving them a pre-printed verse? I'm all about writing the word. I hand out a write the word bookmark, so why am I writing it out for them? So this year, the verse or the 2 or 3 or 3 to 5 verse passage that I want them to memorize, I'm not going to hand it out to them. I'm going to ask them to write it, because you and I know that the things we write down, we tend to remember. So this is my challenge to you. Go to Dollar Tree, get the bigger size, the 4x6 rather than the 3.5x5, so that you can either write it big or you can get more on there if you're doing 1 or 2 verses, and write it out. And that is one helpful beginning for memorizing a verse, and committing it to own it in your heart is to write it, because we do remember what we write. It'll help you commit it to memory. And so I picked those up so that I would have them for my Ladies in Bible Study for this year. So I've got my index cards ready. Then in the school supplies section, I don't know that they have this all the time. I'd not seen it before, but it's their index cards that are on a little binder ring. And even more than that, they have little tabs to divide them. And so this is going to be very helpful for me with my preparation. As I do my regular study of the Word of God this year, I'm reading through using the New King James Version. And then every morning I read that passage, and the Bible that I'm using is the Oswald Chambers Devotional Bible. And every day it has a passage from the Old, the New Testament, from Psalms and Proverbs. And so as I'm reading that and immersing myself there, knowing I'm going to be teaching Nehemiah this year, and knowing that I'm putting together a retreat teaching and a series on prayer, my ear is also attuned to some of those things. I've got a couple other teachings I'm working on. And so I'm always kind of wheels are turning and I'm thinking, oh, this would fit over there. And so I find myself writing myself a note on these little Post-it notes and then trying to figure out where they go. And so my plan is to have a little tab for Nehemiah, a little tab for prayer, a little tab for this other little teaching topic I'm working on. And then as I come across those things, I can write those on the note card that goes in that passage. And then when I'm ready to work on that, I'm just going to pull all those index cards out, and I can spread them out and shuffle them and put them in order for how they're going to drop into my PowerPoint or in my teaching or in this little booklet that I'm writing. So I think this is really going to be a great tool for me as a writer and a speaker to sort of corral some thoughts and put them in a place that they're not all over and they're in one place, but then I could use it in an effective way later when I'm ready to put something together. I hope that makes sense. This is a new little project that I've started. And so this is an idea that I got from my daughter. I wanted to put together sort of an art wall, a gallery wall, if you will, on a wall in our library. I moved a piece of furniture upstairs. My daughter loves art, and I like to think that I helped spur that on, because when all my kids were younger, I took one art appreciation class in college, and we had to memorize several, I think 50 or 60 pieces of art and recognize the name of the piece and the painter, the creator of that work. And it just gave me such a new appreciation to understand some of the different styles of art and to be able to identify what is Impressionism and what came from this era or that. And so I did that with my children. I bought lots of little postcards that had art, and I would flip through those and have them memorize and tell me what they were for a while. I even did a nerdy thing, and we would choose an artist of the month, and we would study Monet or we would study Picasso. And during that month, I would read a biography aloud to them, and we would focus on that artist's work. But there's nothing more just a great blessing if you are able to visit an art museum and see a piece that you recognize. And I remember going to the Art Institute of Chicago and seeing Sunday Afternoon at Le Grand Joute, I think is what it was called. And that was, I think, a pointillism piece. But to see how massive that piece was, it was so much larger than I thought, because all of my pieces of art were the same size on this little postcard. And then when we were in Paris and I saw the Mona Lisa, it was so much smaller than I thought. And so seeing a piece of art in person is just such a greater experience if you've studied it. So I really do enjoy art. And so I've learned a little trick from my daughter. There's lots of pieces of art out there, even ones that are not famous, that are enjoyable. And you can go to Wikipedia Commons, and because they're out of date for the copyright, because the artist has been gone so long, there are files out there with pieces of art that you can download for free instead of buying it. And so I have done that. And so those pieces of art that are not copyrighted, I'm not violating any laws, I save that piece of art, upload it to Walmart or Walgreens or wherever you print photos, and then I print that and use decoupage to put it onto a frame. Now these are smaller. I found these at Dollar Tree. This is an 8x8 canvas. This is a 4x6. I've done some as large as 16 by 20 or a larger 12 by 12 or 18 by 18. I've got a whole gallery wall, and I may do a future video where I show you and demonstrate actually how to do that, and then let you see my gallery wall. But I don't consider myself really a crafty person or a creative person, but because of Ginger, I've learned how to do it, to use a little bit of decoupage, and that sort of helps the photo adhere to the canvas and fit it down, and then take your brush and use the decoupage to go over the photo afterwards. And you can take a regular photo, and because the decoupage dries clear, but you see the brush strokes, and it sort of takes on the look of a real painting. And so it's been so much fun. And I have found some beautiful frames just at resale stores and Goodwill, and made my own little museum. And I'll tell you more of that story later. But in the meantime, these would be suitable for a smaller gallery wall and some smaller prints. And I'm just having a lot of fun with this new little hobby, thanks to my daughter. And there are some little ways that you can do that at Dollar Tree. They even have some little 4x4 canvases, and I actually did 2 of those. One of those is on my gallery wall, and one of those I found a little spot for with some beautiful red poppies that I decoupaged, and it's in my powder room. So even if you've got a little space, Dollar Tree is a great way to find that. And the little 4x4 actually came with this little easel, and because I mounted on the wall, I didn't need it, but what a bargain. $1.25, I got the canvas, I got the easel, and I made my own little work of art. So there's a little tip. And then lastly, I got this poster board. This is black, 11 by 14, and there are 6 pieces here. And so I've got a couple of different uses perhaps for this. My ministry, Cross My Heart Ministry, is now a member of our local Chamber of Commerce, and there's a vendor booth that I may be putting together at an upcoming breakfast event they're doing. And so I may use this to create some information about the ministry and to mount that on my little vendor board display. I just picked up one of those sort of 3-sided science fair displays that we all used to do with our children back in the day. And so I'll probably find a use for those. But Dollar Tree's a fun place to go through. There are a lot of things there that you might not need, but it's always interesting to go through the grocery section, the cleaning section, the office supply section, crafting. And I just always find interesting things and things that I can put to good use. So leave me a note below in the comments section. Let me know which of my items you find interesting that you might try to pick up. And then also let our viewers know what's the thing at Dollar Tree for just everyday use that you like to pick up and use. Now, hope you've had fun with my Martha Monday. We all love to see what somebody else is buying, but I hope you'll come back on Friday, because on Fridays, we're all about what Cross My Heart Ministry really exists to do, and that is to encourage women to love God and to love His Word. And so I hope that you'll be back on Friday and listen to the teaching video that we'll bring to you. But for now, thank you for spending part of your day with me. For Cross My Heart Ministry, I'm Laurie McFarland. Have a blessed week.